Wild Willie here. I was going to talk about demons, but I settled on the next best thing to talk to you about today, which is money. But look for that video about demons because I'm going to do that one pretty soon here. But actually, what I'm really going to talk about is what actually is 3D consciousness and 5D consciousness. And I'm going to define those for us because I watched a lot of movies, even though this maybe is like 3 months old, this idea. But I watched a lot of movies and nobody ever told me what they were. And you know how we are on this channel. We like to put it all out there. Like the song I heard on the radio last night. At midnight, we let it all hang out. Woo! All right. So, let's start with this. What's 3D consciousness? What's 5D consciousness? Well, really simply put, I'm going to give you two conceptualizations of this idea. 3D consciousness would be separateness. 5D consciousness would be integration. I mean, that's pretty simple, right? We don't need to get too crazy with it, but we are going to get crazy with it. So, what is the biggest thing that separates everybody? What is it? What is the biggest thing that separates everybody? Does anybody have any guesses? I know what it is. I know what it is, guys. It's the biggest thing that separates everybody. It's moolah, baby. It's the moolah. Do you know why? Because this determines your worth. In our constructed world, this determines your worth. Everybody's worth is determined by this. We're no longer human beings, guys. You understand that? Because I'm worth 30 bucks an hour. I'm only worth 25 bucks an hour. I, according to my government, am only worth $14.30 an hour, or whatever it is, the minimum wage in my state. Money separates everybody. If I grew up with a certain amount of money in my household, that shapes my worldview more than any other view. Because money determines what is acceptable to me and what is not acceptable to me. If I grew up in a house that didn't have a lot of money and we had to get by on whatever we had, that will shape what I see as acceptable later on in my life. If I grew up in a household with a lot of money and we could buy nice things and afford nice things and we didn't have to deal with a lot of other things because we had money, right? Then that determines what I will see as acceptable later. If I flew first class my whole entire life, I do not accept business class as an option for me. But, you see what I'm saying? Money separates us all. Money separates us all. And, this is the thing about it. I don't usually talk about these things, but as it relates to consciousness, 3D and 5D, it's really applicable. Okay? So, you know how I know it's all fake? The whole political propaganda narrative. It's all fake because they never taught us about money in school. They never taught us anything about money in school. They didn't teach us about loans. They didn't teach us about the banks, how banks worked. They didn't teach us about the Federal Reserve. I never even learned what the name of any other currency was that any other country had. Growing up in school, in high school, in middle school, high school, I never learned anything about money. They gave us this narrative about George Washington, this fake, bogus, historical narrative of George Washington chopping down the cherry tree and not lying about it. And they sent us to work doing really dumb things, really stupid things nobody remembers and nobody ever has used, like Algebra 2. They sent us to work doing Algebra 2, and they told us we were all free. And I know that's all a lie because they never told us about money. I just discovered what the meaning, I just realized it for myself a few months ago, what the meaning of fiat currency was. Money is backed by nothing. It has no value. It has no value, yet it has the power to determine my value. Fiat currency, debt-based currency. It's not real. It's totally constructed. It's fake. And yet it keeps everybody separate from everybody else. It really does. Think about it. It so does. Because at the end of the day, I got to buy my gas first. I got to pay my rent first. I got to buy food for me and my family first. And you know what? That's your problem. Totally separate. Separated us. Now, how do we apply this to 3D consciousness and 5D consciousness in life, in our life, in the world? You see a lot of videos, these guys talking about, we're shifting into 5D consciousness as a society. All right, okay, what does that look like? Now, there's two different ways I want to talk about 3D and 5D here. Now, this one we've been building up to looks like living without money. It looks like a world where we divorce ourselves from this construction of money, where we choose community, we choose the people that we are in relationship with, and we choose to focus on the necessities, the bare necessities. Food, clothing, shelter. I guess if you have a car, gas. I mean, you start going out much further than that, you kind of have to, rely on it. But if you can, grow your own food, if you can do a garden, if you can, have a farm somehow, if you can make things of actual value and share them with people in your community, in your family, trade them for things that you need. I mean, that's the shift to 5D consciousness in its expression in our world. That's what it would really look like. Because money is nothing but a divisive and is a divisive and separator tool. It's just a tool that is used to divide and separate people. Divide and conquer. You guys, that's what they said. Divide and conquer. They divided us and they have conquered us. And if 3D consciousness is separation and 5D is integration, then that largely would be the reality that we would all have to be working towards attaining in life to achieve collective 5D consciousness. And that's getting away from money. And a lot of that looks like getting away, for the first steps, getting away from buying unnecessary stuff. Every 3 months, I'll buy myself something big, right? I do that. I got the Amazon package coming, A lot of creating 5D consciousness is getting away from that. Is trying to get a space. I know they're going to change it in the next probably 10 years here, but as much as you can, getting a space to where you can be self-sufficient and create the bare necessities for yourself and then share those out with your loved ones in your community. That's really where it's at, That's really what it is. Now, that's money, okay? 3D, 5D consciousness. A different conceptualization of 5D consciousness would be fulfilling a spiritual destiny, fulfilling a spiritual destiny. And that would look something that would look totally different, okay? Money is a part of our world. We accept it's a part of our world. We accept that we need it to do things. It's there. We are cool. It's there. Okay, I understand this. Whatever hoops they make us jump through, whatever things they make us do to get money, it's there. Whatever. That's it. Okay? But if you want to enter into true 5D spiritual consciousness from a different way of looking at it, viewing it, it would be lining up with the synchronicities that are occurring in your life, and they're going to be taking you to a higher calling. They'll be taking you to a higher purpose, a higher calling. It might look different for people. It probably looks totally different for everybody. One guy on YouTube I watch a lot, it looked like for him moving to Africa. Okay? For another person, it might look like just being a father, right? But that's where you align to the synchronicities that are occurring in your life, you follow the synchronicities that are occurring in your life, and you carry out the mission the universe is asking you to carry out. Because as you do that, the universe will provide for you everything that you need. You will not be in want. Like we talked about money, right? Like I'm in want when I don't have money, right? But if I'm fulfilling this higher purpose that God or the universe has called me to, right? And I know it's called me to this because the things that I can see in my immediate environment are totally like unreal. Like it can't be any other thing. Then you know. Then that's it. And you will be taken care of. I hope you all have found this video enlightening and inspiring and uplifting. Hopefully, maybe. And until next time, when I make the coming movie, it's going to be about demons. Go Kamala 2024 while Willie rides again.